everybody, it's Kerry. I am at Mountain Goat. I didn't realize how much I missed this space until I got in here today. So I'm going to do an hour Hatha class, strong Hatha class. So feel free to make any modifications you need. If you don't have yoga blocks and you think you might need them, a hardcover book works well. Hopefully everybody has pillows if you need one of those. And thank you for joining me. So let's get started in child's pose. And depending on your hips, your lower back, your child's pose will look or feel a little different, possibly. So wide leg child's pose, narrow knee child's pose, entirely up to you, your practice. So send your arms forward and then put a hand on top of a hand and rest your head for the first few minutes or few breaths, pardon me, just so that your shoulders can maybe decompress a little bit as well. Roll your head from side to side, maybe massage out your forehead a little bit. And just breathe. Breathe some of the craziness away for 1 hour. Maybe as your hips and your lower back start to relax, maybe you draw your knees in if they're wide and take your arms beside your body. Inhale and exhale, deep yoga breaths. Belly softening on the inhale, coming back in towards your spine on the exhale. And then reach your arms forward. And draw yourself up into a seated posture. Maybe you can sit back down on your heels, or maybe you have to stay up here, depending on how tight your quads are or anything else. But we're just going to take a few shoulder rolls. So up, down, and around. Move your head, move your neck. And then round your shoulders forward. And then reach your hands up, stretch through the palms. Your fingers are starting to come to life, your wrists. Bring your arms forward and round your fists a little bit. Add some movement into the forearms and the wrists. Take them in a back and forth and an up and down. Flick and then bring it back in. Flick, stretch and bring it back in one more time. Stretch them out and bring them back in. And then make your way into puppy pose. So we're going to draw our hands forward. Keep our hips going back and find some length in the spine. And then draw yourself up into table. We'll take a very technical posture called wag your tail. Send your hips to the right. And then send your hips to the left. Just trying to get into the outer hip, possibly. Soften your elbows as you're doing this. Maybe going a little further each time. And then table pose, knees under hips, hands under your shoulders. And we'll go through some cat-cow curls. 5 cat-cow curls on your own time with your own rhythm. Inhaling cow, lift your chin. Exhaling, tuck your tailbone under, press up through cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, activating your belly muscles, softening them in cow, engaging them up towards your spine in cat. One more time. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. Hold it here for a few breaths. Head is just hanging, neck is lengthening. And come on back down. And then make your way into your first downward facing dog. Hands come forward, rooted into the mat. Hips come high and feet go wide, please, for the first one. Just take it a little easy. Don't walk it out. Just see how it's going. Listen to your back body, your hamstrings, your back. Settle in and take about 3 deep inhale and exhales. Last one, take an inhale here. Exhale, step into the middle of the mat and find a halfway lift. I'd like your hands to be on your shins or higher if they need to. Soften your knees just a little and find some length through the back. Length from the back of your neck all the way to your tailbone, and draw your belly in to find some support. So inhale, draw your shoulders back. One more inhale. Exhale, soften your knees, fold forward gently into ragdoll. Head is falling in between, you're just flowing, breathing. Take an elbow in each hand and sway from side to side. And then lower your hands towards the floor. Inhale, draw your belly up towards your spine. And then exhale, roll up through. Feel your legs working, feel your glutes working as you roll through your lower, middle, upper, and shoulders come up, head comes up at the end. And we'll start with some half sun salutations. Inhale, gather the energy around you. Feel your feet rooting, feel your legs getting strong as we're standing up tall. Take your arms up to the ceiling on an inhale. Exhale, fold forward gently from the hips. So you're looking like there's a bar right at the top of your hips and you're folding over. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, rise. Find your legs. Bring yourself up using your glutes and your legs. And we'll do it again. Fold forward from the hips. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, rise. Come on back to stand. Adding on. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plank pose. All right, let's do a head to toe check in our plank. Head is forward, neck is long, back is long. Heels are you're sending your heels back, your chest slightly forward. Lift through the shoulders, lift through the belly. Drop your knees if you need to. Take an inhale. Exhale, lower down. Elbows always skim the waist. And we'll take an inhale to a very gentle cobra. So inhale, peel yourself up. Exhale, lower back down. Inhale, come on up. Exhale down. Lower back might be tight given what's happening right now in the world. Inhale, lift. Exhale, hips high, downward facing dog. Draw back from the middle. And then you can walk it out. Press one heel down. And then switch, go nice and slow. Maybe you get down into the calf even if the hamstrings will let go a little bit. Inhale here. Exhale, step to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, rise. Bring it all up. And we'll do it again. Fold forward from the hips. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back. Plank pose, lower down. Inhale forward to a cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale back to downward facing dog. Last one, take a great big inhale here. On the exhale, step between your hands, building a little more energy. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Take an inhale here. Exhale, fold. Adding on. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step it back into a plank. Option always to go straight to downward dog from here, or lower your knees when you lower yourself down. Just be careful you don't pull back into plank or into table. Keep your spine long as you come down to the floor. So if you're in a plank, take an inhale. Exhale down to the floor. Inhale forward and lift. And exhale back to downward dog. Lower your right knee down to the mat and extend your left leg long. I'm just going to switch direction here. So you can keep your heel and foot, right knee, right foot, right heel in line, or you can pivot your foot out if you need a little extra for balance. All right, so otherwise we're going to stay here. We're going to press into that right arm and we're going to take the left one up to the ceiling. So find the length in the left leg. Keep your head and neck in line with your spine. Try not to let it fall down. Be mindful of where your head is. And reach. Take that energy up through the top hand. We're going to add on to this later. Turn your left hand down and find a long line from your left fingertips to the outer part of your left foot. Reach it all out. Bring your top hand up. Bring it down to the floor, and we're just going to transition to their side. So left shin down, right leg long. You can see it from the back side. Press in, lift through the shoulder on that left side. Keep it strong. Take your right arm up to the ceiling. Gaze is wherever your neck wants it to be. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't try to look back. Gaze is wherever your neck wants it to be. Reach up through that top hand. Turn your right palm down and then extend it over your ear. Reach it to the back. Find the length. Belly is strong. Bring your top hand back up to the ceiling. Bring your right hand down to the floor. Make your way back into your downward facing dog. Hold it here. Just let your head nod in a yes. And then shake your head in a no. Say yes to yoga. No to the COVID virus. And then take an inhale. Exhale, walk your hands back to meet your feet, feet underneath your hips, chair pose. And we're going to start with our arms straight out of our shoulders. So try to not sag down, stick your booty out too far. Lift through the back, keep it long, belly is engaged, and hips drop down. You know how I love my chair pose, my homework in yoga. Take an inhale, exhale, press up out of your chair without using your arms. Easy in chair pose. Do it when you're sitting watching Netflix or anything else. Lower down. Hold it here. Take an inhale. Exhale, press through your feet. Come on up. Find your glutes. One more time. Drop down. See if you're feeling both feet in the mat equally. Sometimes one side takes over from the other. Take an inhale. Exhale, come on up. Fold forward. Inhale halfway. Exhale, walk your hands forward. Walk your feet back. Hold it in a plank. Lower down. So another way to make it more challenging is a chaturanga or a hover, which your elbows are in line or slightly lower than your shoulders. Inhale forward to a cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale back to downward facing dog. And stay here for a few breaths. Take an inhale. Exhale, bring your right foot in between your hands. Step it up. Scoot that left leg back. And try to come up onto your fingertips so that you're not kind of pressed down into that front leg. So you're lifting through the belly again and lengthening through the spine. You're going to stay here for a second. And depending on your hip flexors, this might be a difficult pose. So take an inhale. Exhale, lower your left knee down with as much length as you can find in that left quad. You can keep your toes curled under in the back or let it come down to the floor. Just make sure it's not twisted in or out. Keep it straight back from your calf. And then if you'd like, you can make your way up onto your right quad. Shoulders are down. And you're looking for a lift in the chest and a lengthening towards the floor through the left hip flexor. So as hips are a fabulous storage depot for stress. So let's see if we can let go of some of that today. One more nice big inhale here. Exhale, if you'd like a little bit extra, bring your arms up to the ceiling. Make sure you can see your thumbs always. And then take your gaze down your nose, and that will keep your neck in a nice spot. Inhale some length. Exhale, hands to the floor. Step your right foot back to meet the left, just long enough to come into a downward dog, and transition to the other side. Left foot in between your hands. Right foot scoots back as far as it can comfortably. Take an inhale here, get yourself set up. No rush, and come on up. We're going to be here for a few breaths, so find the position that you need to be in and build the posture always from the ground up, whether it's your feet or your hands. Drop your shoulders, pull forward, lengthen forward, lift your chest, and then try to lower. It's almost like a scooping forward motion. Front knee is over your ankle. That helps to keep your knees happy when we are in the right position. One more inhale. Exhale, bring your arms up to the ceiling if you like. Sink down a little bit more. Inhale length, exhale depth in the pose. If you have it in, if you're at your edge, you stay there. And you can tell that by your breathing. If you're fighting to catch your breath, come back a little bit out of the pose. One more inhale. Exhale, hands to the floor. Step your left foot back. Downward facing dog. Inhale here. Exhale, walk your hands back, lifting your belly as you go to your feet. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, soften your knees, fold over with a long spine, and either take a hold of your toes with your index and middle finger, or you can hold your shins, whatever you can, just listening to your hamstrings. They're the boss. Inhale some length. Exhale, draw yourself over. Remember, we have that bar right at the top of our hip crease and we're folding over it. And just breathe. Breathe in a forward fold. Inhale one more time. Exhale, walk your hands back out to downward facing dog. And step forward in between your hands with your right foot. All right, so now we're going to stay on the ball of our back foot. We're going to come into a half crescent lunge. So I want you to take your left arm forward. And if that feels good and you're feeling strong, take your right hand behind you and traction from your left hand to your right hand. Lift up through the back quad. That'll help to keep you strong. Feel those upper back muscles working. Inhale here. Exhale, bring your right arm forward and then take it out to the side like an airplane. You can lower your knee down to the floor if you like, or keep it picked up off the mat. Fly over your neighborhood for a few seconds. Imagine what you're seeing. Lift your belly, lengthen your spine, or go someplace else, somebody else's neighborhood. Take one more inhale here. Exhale, hands to the floor. Step your right foot back. Downward facing dog. Pedal it out a little bit. And transition to the other side. Left foot in between your hands. Coming into that runner's lunge again. Long back. Right arm forward. Left arm back. Grow strong and long. One more inhale. Exhale, left arm forward and then out. And fly again. Building some heat. Use those upper back muscles. Feel them start to engage as you draw your shoulder blades together slightly. One more inhale. Exhale, hands to the floor. Step your left foot back. Take an inhale. Exhale, step between your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chair pose. Drop your bum, bring your arms up. One inhale here. Exhale, press it up and let it go. Nice job. Grab a quick sip of water if you need it. And if you don't, I'm going to step back into the middle of my mat, coming into wide leg forward fold. So set your feet up so your toes are facing forward, feet are parallel to each other, and find your strong legs here first. Don't lock your knees, just feel your quads activate, and straight is relative for how your hamstrings and legs are. What I do want you to do though is roll your feet out slightly to activate the arches in your feet so that they don't pronate in. That will help. I used to find my feet would get really sore in this pose, so turn them out a little bit. Bring your hands to your hip crease. And just feel this pose for a second. Take an inhale to lift your chest, lower your shoulders, and come forward. Don't lead with your chin in your bum. Tuck your tailbone under, neutral neck, and come forward. And maybe you get to the floor. Maybe you get to your shins. Maybe you get to where you feel your inner thighs, adductors, and hamstrings say, that's enough. Walk yourself out a little more if you need it. Keep mindful of your feet, and if you want a little bit extra, you walk your hands in between your legs. Elbows stay over your wrists. Take one more big inhale here. On the exhale, start to walk forward under your shoulders, almost like that tripod position. And then if you walked your feet out too far, bring them in a little bit. Take an inhale. On the exhale, bring your hands to your glutes, top of your hip. Keep a long spine and then come on up. Feel your glutes start to work as you come up. Instead of putting them here where you don't need it, put them here every time you come up and see if they're working. So from here, I want to go right into Warrior Two with your right foot turned out. So your right foot is turning forward. Your left leg is becoming nice and long. We've already been in our wide leg forward fold. Arms are up at Warrior Two height. So you're reaching forward with your right arm, you're reaching back with your left, and your hips and shoulders are in one line. We're not pulling too far forward. Tuck your tailbone in a little bit, and then roll that front thigh out slightly, and make sure you can see your big toe in the front. A lot of things going on in Warrior Two, but good things. Look down your middle finger. Stay strong, take an inhale. Turn your right hand up, place your left where it wants to go, and reverse it. Reach up towards the ceiling. Stay low, try not to straighten that front leg, keep it nice and low, and lengthen through the right side. Don't collapse on the left. Lift and pull. One more inhale here. Exhale, come on back up to Warrior Two, and then we're coming into an extended side angle. So take your right forearm, place it on your quad, and don't just collapse and fall in. Kiss it on there, just touch it on there. Take your left arm, palm down, palm up, and then over and down towards the floor. Keep an eye on that right knee, make sure it's not creeping in. Keep it out. Long line again, outer left foot, up the left hip, over into the left arm. We practice this on the floor. You want to creep that your right fingertips down towards the floor. Go ahead. You want to bind it. If you're a binder, you internally rotate that top arm and reach back. You internally rotate the bottom arm, and you try to take a hold of your hands without sticking your butt out too far back. Wherever you are is perfect, so that's where you need to be. Take an inhale here. Exhale, come on back up to Warrior Two. Straighten that front leg. Turn it forward for another wide leg forward fold. Take your hands behind your back. Take a minute here. Regroup. Draw your shoulder blades together. Spread through the chest. My favorite stretch. If you've been in my classes, I call this my favorite stretch. It counteracts that forward slumping, so draw it back. Lift your chin. Open through the chest. Take a nice big inhale here. Exhale, fold forward again from the hip crease. Let your arms come up over your head. Shoulders will probably feel a little snug, so be gentle with yourself. Every so often, take an inhale to lengthen. Draw your shoulder blades together. Exhale to let them fall over your head. Take one more inhale here. On the exhale, lower your hands down to your hips and then come halfway up. Feel those quads. And then come all the way up. Turn your left foot forward and sink down into warrior two on the other side. So you're sinking down in between your legs. Position yourself. Make sure you readjust anything that you need to. Okay, you guys know that already. Just the checklist from toe to toe is you see your big toe in the front and you try not to creep your left knee in towards your big toe. Stay shoulders over hips. Said that already. Pardon me, I repeat myself. Strong arms. Take an inhale. Exhale, turn your left hand up and reverse. Left hand up to the ceiling. Right hand falls where it wants to fall. Big, long, strong left side. One more inhale here. Exhale over into your side angle. Left forearm on quad to start. Right hand over your ear. Right arm over your ear, pardon me. Reach it forward. Creep those left fingertips down if you like. If you want to bind it, again, take that top arm and turn it in, internally rotate it and reach back. Internally rotate your bottom hand and reach under your leg. Gaze can be up at your top shoulder. You're breathing, you're lifting, your belly's strong. One more inhale. Exhale, come on back up to warrior two. Straighten that front leg. Drop your arms. Turn your left foot forward. Take a breath. Heel toe, toe heel. Take it all the way back into the center of the mat. And just shake it out a little bit. All right, so we're going to move on to our next sequence. Top of the mat, if you're not there already. We're going to take it, we'll take a vinyasa to get there. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step it back into a plank. Hold your plank. Super strong. Take an inhale. Exhale, lower down. Inhale forward and lift. Your back bend, your practice. Exhale back to downward facing dog. Lift your right leg up in a three-legged dog. So take it up to the ceiling, but keep your hips level. So try not to open up through the hip. We're going to keep it level for the first part. Lift it up, find your glutes, and press your left heel down slightly. Maybe you get more into the calf on the left leg. And lower that right foot down and switch. Left leg up. Bring it down. Right foot up. Bend your knee and now open it up to the ceiling. So you're drawing that inner thigh up. Your knee is reaching for the ceiling. And then extend it nice and long and lower it down. Other side. Left leg up. Bend your knee. Open it up to the ceiling. And then open it back up. Bring it back down. Right leg lifts. Bring it through your hand space. Tuck it up into your core. Place it down. We're coming into full crescent lunge this time. Press into the ball of the back foot. Press through the front of the, press into the front foot and come on up. Crescent lunge. Lift that back leg. Make it strong. Press your heel and foot down in the right. Activate everything. Take an inhale. Exhale. Lower your right arm down. And if you want, take a prayer twist. You can stay here. You can lower your knee or you can keep it lifted. Right arm down. Left arm reaches across your left leg. And you come into a prayer twist. You can do fist of the left and palm of the right, or you can keep your hands in prayer. Experienced yogis know how to make this challenging. If you needed it a little less challenging, come down, drop a knee. Drop your left. If you're still with me, take an inhale. Exhale, hands to the floor. Step back into your downward dog. Transition to the other side. Left foot in between your hands, right foot back. Come on up into crescent lunge first. Starting point. Lower your left arm, reach across the front leg. Right arm across front leg. Keep tucking that left hip under so that you're not kind of getting out of sorts, because you can finish right here too. Or you can come up into that prayer twist. Make sure you breathe. One more inhale here. Exhale, hands to the floor. Good job. Step your left foot back. Walk it out a little bit. Take an inhale. Sigh it out. And then lower your right knee down. We're going to have some more fun with that beginning stretch we did. So bring your right shin down, extend your left leg nice and long, press into your right arm, and take that nice supported side angle that we did on the floor. You want to stay right here, that's perfectly fine. You want to come for a little ride with me, press in through the right shoulder, root through the right side, pick up your left leg, dorsiflex your foot, so don't point it, and send your heel away. Find that glute med on the left side. Breathe. And then start to slowly bend your top leg, reach back, see if you can catch your ankle, your pant leg, or right here. And if you can catch your ankle, start to draw your knee in line with your hip, and then press your foot into your hand and see what happens. You start to open up through the shoulder. Now, if I were in class, I'd say, isn't this fun? And then extend your left leg long, reach your left hand up to the ceiling, and then guess what? We get to do it on the other side. I'm going to switch around. So you're going to put your left knee down on the floor. You're going to extend your right leg nice and long. And we're starting here. Challenge yourself, challenge your muscles. If you fall out of it, it's perfectly fine. Laugh and get back up. Technically, we're all falling right now. We just have different circumstances. Come up into that side plank. Pick up your top leg. Extend, lift, lengthen, heel out. Breathe. Reach for the ceiling. Bend your top leg slowly. Grab your ankle if you can. Draw your knee in line with your hip. Press your foot into your hand. Take your gaze to your bottom hand or straight ahead. Root the top of the left foot. I'm going to stop talking. Take a breath. Exhale, extend everything out again. And lower it down. Yay! Good job. Knees underneath your hips. Hands underneath your shoulders. Let's do a few cat-cow curls here. Inhale, belly softens, chin lifts. Exhale, round up through your back. Oh, it feels good. Inhale down. Exhale up. Come back into a child's pose. See how it feels now. Send your hips back. Reach your arms forward. And breathe. Stay here for about 3 breaths. And then make your way back up to seated. Make sure I didn't forget anything. I did not, I don't think. And then we're going to sit down on your bum. If you want to put a pillow under your butt, it'll help you to lift up and stay a little bit longer in the spine. But we're going to start. Our starting position is Tadasana. Tadasana or Dandasana? I can't remember. You're going to sit up tall. I call this sitting up tall. So charge up through your legs. Do not press your knees down into the mat because your hamstring attachment will get kind of cranky there. But you're going to lift up. Feel like somebody is lifting your back as you're sitting. Your sits bones are rooted. Put your hands beside your hips. Press up to lengthen, chin down to your chest. Shoulders down, away from your ears. Lengthen, 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 sit up tall. Inhale, bring your chin back up to normal. Draw your right knee in towards your chest, and then just let it fall out to the side on the right. Janu Shirshasana, nose to knee, but really say nose to shin. Sternum to knee, lower rib to quad. Think about that bar here again, same principle applies. Take an inhale to elongate your spine, exhale to start to walk forward. Take your hands wide. Then you will avoid kind of collapsing in and caving too soon. So draw your shoulders back. Take your hands wide and inch your chest down towards your knee. When you get to where your hamstring says, that's enough, I've had it, reach forward. Take your foot, your shin, wherever you are. Remember, wherever you are is perfect. Inhale some length. Exhale, maybe you draw a little closer. Maybe you get your elbows down. Try not to roll over to the right. Draw yourself in a little bit. One more inhale here. Exhale, come on up. Take the outside of your right leg, draw it in. Switch, lengthen, shake for a second, and then left knee in and let it fall out to the side. So again, take a minute just to feel the length in your right leg. Maybe you pull the flesh off the sits bone a little bit. Find your position. If your knees are unhappy, put your foot further away or try it closer in. It depends on your knee. And again, take an inhale to lift, shoulders back. Exhale to keep your hands wide and creep forward. Sending your nose to your shin. When you get to where you need to go, take a hold of something. Inhale one more time for length. Exhale to draw over that leg. One inhale here, exhale, come on back up. Draw your left knee in, extend your both legs long, shake them out a little bit, and we'll come into a bit of a twist. Right leg comes in again, crosses over the left. This is my version of Marichyasana C. Take your left foot a little bit over to the right, and then see if you can get close to that right leg. Right fingertips beside right hip, not palm, so you don't lean into that hand. Inhale to lift your spine. Exhale, reach forward. Take the right knee in towards your armpit on the left. Lengthen and then draw your shoulders and your upper back around to the back on the right side. Gaze can be wherever it works for you. Over your back shoulder, forward, somewhere in between. You're inhaling length, exhaling depth. Take one more inhale. Let it go. Twist slightly over to the left side just to wring it out. And switch legs. Left knee into the chest, cross it over the right, same thing. Left fingertips, left hip, reach forward, take that left knee in towards your right armpit. Inhale up, exhale over to the left. Drawing your knee in as you come over to the left. One more inhale, exhale, let it go. Easy twist to the right. And then lay down on your back. Easy resting pose. So knees are up to the ceiling. You're laying on your back, your arms are out to the side. And just see how everything feels now. How does it feel? Does it feel like everything's touching the mat? That should. Can you relax in this pose? Bring your hands in. See if you can touch your heels. If that feels too tight, bring your heels a little further away for a couple of bridge poses. So we'll take an inhale here. Exhale, send your hips up towards the ceiling. Press your shoulders down and then start to loop them in towards each other. Clasping your hands if you can get there. If not, just drive through your arms as you lift your hips up. Engage your hamstrings here. Try to focus on your hamstrings as much as your glutes. Take an inhale. Exhale, lower down. Spread through the shoulders. Come back down to the mat. Bend your arms so your fingers are coming straight up towards the ceiling. Same thing, except you're going to drive those triceps into the floor. Take an inhale. Exhale, send your hips, press your triceps down. Lift, lift, lift. Strengthen up those back muscles. And lower down. Release your arms, take them out to the side. We're going to take a very gentle supine twist. So all I want you to do is bring your knees together, your feet together, shift your hips to the right, and then let your knees fall to the left. Close your eyes, don't jam anything down, don't force your shoulder down or force your knees down. Just let it fall where it wants to fall. And let that sort of middle thoracic spine open up. Maybe roll your head from side to side. Release any tension in your jaw. Relax your face. One inhale here. Exhale, bring your top knee up. Bring your bottom knee up. Shift your hips back into the center. Take a breath here. And then shimmy over to the left. Knees fall to the right. Gaze over the left arm if it feels good. If there's any other version of a supine twist you want to take, remember this is your practice. Pick your top knee up, let your bottom knee follow it. Stay here in neutral. Draw your knees in, take one hand on each knee and roll your knees around. Last little bit of a release. Draw your knees out to the side. You can take your arms into the crook of your knee there and behind in your hamstrings. Little part, happy baby, roll around from side to side. And then, thank you so much. Welcome to your Shavasana. Please take a Shavasana. 5 minutes. That's it. I'm going to time you. Peace and quiet. And let it go. Draw your arms over your head if you're still with me. Bring your toes together and make yourself as long as you can from your toes to your fingertips. Take a big inhale and then draw your knees in. Give yourself a big hug. Roll around a little bit, massage your lower back, and then roll your way up to seated and I will just virtually see everybody. I hope we can practice soon together in this beautiful space. It is the most trying times for everybody, just different circumstances. So we're all doing our best. Thank you so much. Namaste.